So if you've been in VRChat for a while, you've probably heard about something called Playspace Mover. This is widely known as a program that people with full body tracking use to be able to move themselves up and around different worlds. But it didn't seem to have very much practical value to people without full body, and it was a little bit complicated to set up before. Now it's a lot easier to set up just using one program downloaded from the Steam store, and there is still some practical use for it without even having full body tracking. The way VRChat used to be was everything was always synced to your hip. So if you didn't have full body tracking and you tried to climb with Playspace Mover, your body would stay still and you would almost like leave your body, even though you can see yourself climbing. Not too long ago, an update was made where the game tries to keep your head in place. So even if you don't have full body tracking, you can still climb and use Playspace Mover for some practical uses without having full body tracking. If you're using it without full body tracking and just using the normal in-game IK, it's really good for being able to lower yourself closer to the ground without having to actually bend down if you're not able to. And you are able to now climb in the air with it. Your feet just kind of dangle. So it's not as nice looking as with full body, but it does have a lot more functionality now without having full body tracking. So all you need to do is go to the Steam store, search OVR Advanced Settings and install it. When you're in VR, open up your Steam overlay and click on the OVR Advanced Settings symbol. It'll bring you to this window here with a lot of different options. What you're looking for is motion. And what you want to enable is space drag for your left hand and right hand. I like to have it set to gravity off, that way when you drag somewhere you don't just fall back to the ground, you stay where you are. Now once you have that set up, you need to enable the bindings for your controllers. Go to the bindings button. It'll bring you to this bindings window. If you're familiar with it, you can make your own binding and choose what buttons to push to help you climb the world and what button to push to reset you to your default space. If you're not too familiar with the binding system, you can press back and then this will bring you to the community bindings. You can search down through here and try to find a community binding for your controllers that allows for space drag. So I'm using index controllers, so I would search through these lists for a binding that seems to work with my controllers and my preferences of what buttons I want to use to move around the world space. And if you pick one of these, you can go back to that settings window and change it to your liking. And that's it. You just download the program from the Steam store, you set the bindings, you enable space drag, and then you've got a working Playspace Mover in VRChat. This is a lot easier than the old method, which used a dedicated Playspace Mover program, and then you had to get a VR emulator and all these different things together, and it was a bit buggy and eventually it broke. So this is really simple in one program, and it's constantly being updated by people who play games like VRChat, so I recommend using it.